You are Phil.
I'm Phil. I'm very, very Phil.
How are you feeling?
I'm Phil. I'm Phil. I'm very Phil.
Hey there, heroes and adventurers. Welcome back to the channel. I am the Ancient Gamer, bringing you another cool Skyrim modding video. Once again, I'm going to highlight another mod from the Skyland series. This time, we're going to take a look at the recently released Skyland Windhelm mod, which upgrades the textures and the overall look of Skyrim's oldest city. Before we get to that, do yourself a solid and subscribe to the Ancient Gamer channel. It feels good. While you're at it, if you enjoy the video, find it useful, make it happy, give it a like. The video just wants to feel good too. Well, while Whiterun is the central city of Skyrim, middle of the map, etc., and Solitude is the capital, Riften, shelter for thieves and scoundrels, Winterhold, the cradle of magic, and Markarth, hewn from, built on top of dwarven ruins, Windhelm is the oldest city in all of Skyrim and the heart of Nord culture. There also don't seem to be as many mods available for giving Windhelm a facelift as there are for some of the others. Now, if you're looking to spruce up Windhelm or wanting that seamless full Skyland look, you're covered. Now, we're just going to walk around Windhelm a little bit and check out the Skyland Windhelm mod and, see what it looks like. And, man, you don't need me to tell you, it looks dynamite. It's super detailed and really, really nicely done. These textures are spectacular. And as always with any mods, the way it looks is sort of a personal opinion. You may or may not like the way this looks, and that's totally fine. It's not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but in terms of just being a really well-made mod, the Skyland mods have a great reputation, and you can tell that a lot of work and care and love was put into this mod. You can just see it. Yeah, this looks awesome. It's funny. I've always had a soft spot for Windhelm, and I fucking love Windhelm, and part of it is because it's always sort of struck me as like an older sort of run-down town, like maybe the Youngstown, Ohio of Skyrim, or maybe the Butte, Montana. It's like the bad side of town, except it's the whole town. Maybe it's past its prime. It saw its better days a few centuries back. Now let's look at a couple comparisons here. This is the vanilla textures, and they do a really nice job of making it look older and sort of beat on a little bit. And then now we have Skyland, and I don't know that Skyland looks cleaner necessarily, but I think it looks sort of worn down in a different way. And back to vanilla. And vanilla does look really nice. It does a really good job of conveying the idea that Windhelm, it's almost like sooty and just rugged and tougher sort of. And there's Skyland again. And now on this next shot, I think you'll see what I'm talking about in terms of how it's a little bit different. Okay, there's vanilla, and it just kind of does a nice job of making it look like it's falling apart. But look at those ground textures, and now look at them on Skyland. Way, way sharper, and that moss is just fantastic. Okay, and I think the deal is here is that the Skyland Windhelm mod doesn't necessarily make it look like it's less run down, but it's like it's run down in a different way. Skyland makes it look like it's really, really kind of wind-worn, like the wind has worn it down. Now, there is another white Windhelm overhaul that's as a part of the Noble Skyrim mod set. It's not a standalone, though. It was only fair to say that. But let's compare Skyland to Vanilla and also to Noble, just to get a look at another take on doing a Skyland overhaul, or a Skyrim overhaul. Windhelm overhaul, I'm sorry. And there's Vanilla. Now here's Noble. And Noble's a little darker, has a little darker color palette, maybe even a little more colorful color palette. But it's maybe less run down. And then there is Skyland that looks like rocks that have been exposed to wind and cold and sun for a fucking 1,000 years. Very cool. Now there's vanilla. And, vanilla holds up really well against these other two, very highly acclaimed mods. Okay, now we're going to go to Noble. And yeah, Noble does look awesome. And, as usual, Noble seems to have a little more of a rich color palette than Skyland. And now we're going to go to Skyland. Boy, it's really personal preference. They both look really great. They both look really great, but boy, the detail level in the two modded ones are just off the hook. Okay, here's the blacksmith there in vanilla, and then we'll switch. We'll flip over to Noble, and that looks really nice. And now, just for contrast, we're going to go ahead and run back to Skyland. Skyland, boy, I think it's the most detailed of all of them, actually. I have to be honest with you. Yeah, no, I really feel like, and this is a nice, we're walking around again. This is a really, really pretty shot. Yeah, very impressive. No, I think with Windhelm, you just get the idea that, like, the average median income in Windhelm is much fucking lower than it is in Solitude, and that, people here, are like hard working, hard fighting, hard drinking, kind of a roughneck town full of roughnecks. Windhelm's definitely a lot like that, for sure. The Butte, Montana of Skyrim.
Doesn't trust what he calls outsiders.
You've seen how we live. Cramped alleys, rundown buildings, few guard patrols.
Skyland Windhelm is a decent-sized file at 225 megabytes. That isn't massive in and of itself. If you like the way it looks, it's well worth the space. But if your load order is cramped for reserve space and you are choosing between this and Skyland LODs, the LOD mod, personally, I'd choose the LOD mod. It makes a bigger visual impact across the whole map. If you decide to use the Skyland Windhelm mod and you're also using my Better Graphics for Skyrim load order, you can just slide Skyland Windhelm in right here. Once again, I am the Ancient Gamer, and I'm absolutely thrilled that you watch my video. Do it a big favor and click that like button. It's easy, and it really helps. Looking for more of a long-term commitment? Subscribe to the Ancient Gamer channel. It feels good. Ring the bell for notifications. That feels good too. Stay tuned. I'll be back soon with more stuff.